Good day, everybody. It's Max, and welcome back to Plan B Terraform the Ribbon World. That's right. And in today's episode, we're going to push forward with the ribbon. Now, I've been doing some experimentation on ribbon builds, ribbon types, some things. Now, at the same time, I'm actually going to I'll do a little more experimentation on this one, but I've been working on a different design altogether. Well, of course I have. And, so, I mean, we may end this one and then go to the next one, but we'll see. You know what? We're just gonna keep going with what we got now, see how it goes, all the things, and then I'll figure it out afterwards. But of course, before we get started with all those things, I want to thank everybody of the recent subscribers list, as their names are going at the bottom of the screen, and I appreciate that very much. And of course, live chat and Mr. O. I hope you're doing good today and all the things, because that's always a good deal, and everybody else, and of course, to everybody who watches later on in whatever time zone you're in. Because, there's like more than one. Sometimes, well, I don't know. This week I think there's only like 22 of them because of time changes, but whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy. Time zones, all the things. How about that sun that just, flat earthers? I don't know. Maybe they had an idea or something, but unfortunately it's still around. So with that, let's get started. with all the things, because this is where we left off, people. This is where we left off. High winds today. I had to lower the quality of stream to keep up. So I'm blaming you for this one. So that light fluffy, light fluffies that was supposed to arrive here tomorrow is now been upgraded to like a nor'easter north storm. So I'm expected all kinds of snow here tomorrow night. In the middle of some crazy storm, I guess. So I'm blaming you for that, because everything was fine. Everything was fine. Yeah, you can laugh about it now, but it was fine. Everything was fine here, and now it's not fine. It's not fine anymore. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, right. Ribbon World doing a thing. Okay, so hey, look at that. That's a city. That's a city of a ribbon world, which has 300,000 people in it, and it's growing. Now, let's talk about. What do we talk about? Let's talk about backlog. There's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so the big trick to this design of the ribbon world is, and this is why I've started on a whole new other design, is these miniature compartmentalized areas. I mean, they work great, no problem. The issue is the backlog of some of the items that are coming out. Now, what happens is that, and you can actually see this in real time. So you'll see here, this city here, the city here is growing all the way to the back, okay? And what that means is that this recycling center is actually going to put out a little less, all right? But in parts of the city that are still growing, it actually puts out more waste, right? So you'll see these little sections kind of flop around. So you'll notice here, this one here, it's got plastic waste. It's got 10 there, right? But you'll notice this plastic waste is almost full, right? Because this is closer to the edge of a growing part of the city, and this one is like, yeah, I can put stuff out all day long, right? Which causes me a headache. Gosh darn it! Because keeping each of these little sectors balanced isn't working as well as I would hope for. Now, it turns out it doesn't matter that this one is totally full and this one jams up, because as long as there's at least a free spot, mostly one free spot, it will keep going. Now, it's getting to the point where it now needs 2 free spots to keep going. But then that's kind of part of the lessons I've learned over recent days and all this stuff. So this design, though it's really awesomely cool, don't get me wrong, may not be the design I need to work with in the future. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working on my other design and see if I can't get that to work, because I think that's where the benefit's going to be, is in that next design. Now, that being said, though, we're not going to give up on this world. Heck no. I'm going to push this sucker to the limit. So, push the button of the things, people. I didn't want to suffer alone, so you decided to share. Yeah, well, listen, there's lots of things you could have shared with me. You could share pizza. You could share, you could share decorations. You could share lifetime experiences. But you don't have to share snow. I got my own snow. I am perfectly fine without the sharing of the snow. There's no, that's not, sharing is not caring when it comes to snow. In fact, it's cruel and unusual punishment. So that's where we're going with that one. As you can see here, I'm gonna have to slow this down a little bit because I gotta try and keep up with all this craziness. Right. So I do gotta keep blanking out a little bit. Now, this is not the end of the world, doing this, but at the same time, it's not exactly like it's not self-sufficient in terms of keeping it all running smoothly, right? This isn't, I shouldn't have to do, I want a ribbon where I do zero maintenance, like zero maintenance, right? I want to be able to look at this thing and just let the city encompass itself, like rotating around all the things, doing the things, and I never have to look at it again, and it figures it out. Right? That's the whole point of the ribbon world, and this still requires a small amount of maintenance, right? Oh yeah, it's all funny. Oh, it's all funny. All right, so and the thing is that don't get me wrong, it's great, but again, I want it all encompassing. So I have been working on another new design that I'm hoping will do the things, gonna do the magical things, right? And because I'm still looking for the magical thing, right? Now you'll notice here I am bringing up a little bit of that composite and high tech. I do have one line of each still kind of plugged into the city, and again, that's because when I made the city, I kind of made it too wide and not tall enough. So you'll notice here we have lots of the ribbon still not being used, and that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is like we're only using 6 sections. I think it's 6 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm only using 6 ribbon components, and the problem with that is that, I'm using these 6 ribbon components, but we stretch across like 20, I think it's 22, so it causes a bunch of issue, right? Hey, Jamie, what's up? I hope it's all good in the neighborhood. Missed the start. What do you have to maintain? My goal with Ribbon World is to be a self-contained environment. I don't want to supply it with anything. I want it to be able to supply itself. So basically the goal is that every piece of recycle coming out of here is to end up on a pad, get recycled, then get re-put into a factory and shoved back in to the supply center. I don't ever want to feed this thing any extra, so it would get all its supplies from its own waste. I know, that's crazy, right? That's just crazy. And if the waste center can't provide it, then I would have like a little extra in here to kind of boost it. Like, for example, plastic, right? No matter how much plastic waste we got, it never seems to be enough. So what I've done is I've got a little bit of a balance going on here where it can take. You'll notice here we got a lot of extra atmospheric processors here. And what it's doing is it's putting out hopefully just enough carbon that we can either make the polymer bar plastic either from factory or from recycle, and then provide that to the 4 factories that need polymer plastic, right? Which is pretty close to working. So that part I've taken notes down, and I'm going to make that work. Sylvian Green. Oh, dude, I haven't heard of that movie in years. Okay, that makes me old. But that doesn't matter. The whole point is that I haven't heard of that movie in a long time. Listen, it's about self-sufficiency. We're just taking the friendly people and we're kicking them out this door and shoving them back in this door. It's great. It's great. But it's not 100%. It's not 100%. I've got the plastic almost not too bad, actually. It is a little heavy on the factory side. But, I mean, it's not too bad. Of course, food is self-contained. I know, Solid and Green. Man, there's an old title movie. You know what? They need to remake that movie. I think they remade that movie, didn't they? I mean, you know, like the old 60s, 70s movie. I'm pretty sure they remade that movie, didn't they? But if they didn't, they got to remake that movie. You know, I mean, with the effects and the VR and all the stuff they can do today, boom, that movie would rock, wouldn't it? I mean, that'd be awesome. So we have the food stuff. Same problem with the food, right? There's like this little tweaky balance you got to do because you don't want the factory producing too much compost because you need the recycled compost coming out from organic waste to kind of beat this factory. And it's really close. It's so close. Look at them. I mean, they're looking so good, right? And I mean, these guys are running flat out, right? So the balance on that is really close. It's so close. But I will admit my plastic's not 100%. As you can see here, we've kind of filled up, and sure enough, we're kind of getting a little ahead here on the old plastic waste center here, right? So I gotta do a thing like this where I blank them out, which is really a bummer. Because it's like, well, you know, if I didn't have to do that, everything would be great in the world, right? But unfortunately, I do have to do it. So they've stopped growing. What's your problem, dude? Waste disposal. All right. Well, I've fixed it. Yeah, keep growing, guys. Keep growing. So that's the thing. Like, it's this fine balance of letting waste come out and produce, get rid of all your waste, but then supplement it with factory stuff so you don't totally run out, right? You know, now, surprisingly, metal waste is not my problem. It's always good. So I don't know what I did right on that one. Now, I'll tell you what I did right on that. What I did right on it is metal's only used for one thing. One thing. All right. Yes, you use steel for lots of stuff when you're crafting, but the city only uses steel for one item, and that is composite. So you use steel to make tempered steel, which makes composite. But steel, that's the only thing steel's used for, right? So the nice part about metal is you can kind of, like, metal was a real easy chain to deal with, right? So it comes out, it goes on this platform, it gets sucked into this machine, it gets spit out over here, and then it gets taken into this machine, and life is good. Everybody likes you, right? It's really nice. Could you set up specialized areas? So this is where I was talking about at the start. I'm working actually on a new design. The big issue here is, well, there's a couple issues. One, I was kind of hoping these little self-contained areas were going to be able to balance themselves out as they ran, but they don't do it very well. So what I'm doing now, and I don't have it in this file. In fact, I had to make a bunch of copies and some stuff and some things that I make a mess sometimes, people. So basically, what it's going to do is it's going to try and so as the waste comes out of certain areas, it's going to try and push that waste down skipping lines, right? Let me give you a demonstration here. So basically, yeah, give me that. And again, you need like Mark III for all this stuff, right? Because you know that's a thing. Yeah, no, what do you do, dude? Give me the platform. Yeah, bunch of bums. Yep, and then give me the platform again. Okay, so then you'll know. I mean, obviously, we can play leapfrog with this, right? So if we put in, let's put in like a waste center here. So obviously if we do this kind of design, now this design is not great because it's not enough space, right? We got to have enough for carbon making. We got to have enough for extra supplies and stuff. But if we did something like this, where it could leapfrog down the line what it wants, right? So it comes out, right? But see, this is too far, right? I need somehow to kind of like do maybe this kind of setup. Get rid of that. Boop. Do this. Yeah, do that, guys. Do that, do this. And then, of course, you'd have to have some sort of, you have to have some sort of carbon, oxygen being made in the background, right? All the things. I gotta get ready to blank my things out here. Who's blanking? We're blanking you. We're blanking you. I must admit, only recycled plastic's giving me a hard time here now. Even organic matter isn't giving me a hard time, which is actually really cool. That's actually awesome. Yeah, only the recycled plastic's running a little behind. And I think that's because I'm just not producing enough steel. Now, again, I don't want to add steel to the mix because that makes this ribbon more messy, and I'd rather just blank out the plastic and be done with it. But let's go back to this little example here. So you'll see here, as waste would come out onto this, it would do jumping, right? It would jump. It can jump 3 at a time, so it could pull this stuff down the line, something like this, something like that. And I guess you wouldn't need like these every one, like maybe every second one, something like that. Then, as on this side of the line, you've got your recycling centers, right? So like maybe where we're spacing it here is where the recycling centers would go, right? So let's do like some, we'll do that, and then do this kind of maneuver, right? And then of course you got to have one. You got to have one for organics, right? Because organics is just crazy. Let's see. We got purple. Take you, put you, and we'll turn you into organics. Turn that one into compost. Then these guys could pull off the line, but they could also shuffle in behind themselves. Like, so for example, let's say this guy's spitting out more plastic and this guy's spitting out more metal, but they would have the ability to shuffle that down this mini ribbon line in the back to be able to feed whatever factories they want in the front, right? Whereas these guys can't. These are self-contained, right? So this guy cannot send his extra plastic over to this guy, and this guy can't send his extra metal over to this guy. So I was hoping the self-containment part of this would work, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough, right? So what do you say? What do you mean plastic is full? No, it's not. I'll tell you right now, plastic isn't full. That plastic is not. Yeah, produce it. Produce it. There's no fullness here, dude. There's no fullness here. Yeah, that's right. Listen, you got to stop here for a second, dude. That thing is full. So we gotta open some of this up. So that's kind of, this here is kind of the experimentation. Where did I go with it? This is well, okay, that's my current design. What did I do with that? Oh, okay, here. So this is kind of in part what I'm working on now. I'm working on kind of this like ribbon strings within the ribbon, so as they can move the material around to where it can be best used and be able to cross over areas. That's kind of the focus. That's kind of the focus I got going on. So that's what I've been playing with. Because of course that's a thing I do. Clean this up here a little bit. Let's let these guys move out a little more. I think I'll do 3 rows. Yeah, let's do 3 rows. Because I mean, I've already pushed them, like, I just realized I pushed them over 100,000 and hadn't given them any extra rows. They tend to get really excited when you do that. So when we hit the go button here, these guys are gonna lose their minds and just probably just fill this all in right away, right? Yeah, that's a thing that's going to happen. And of course, at the same time, even though I'm only supplementing it with very little extra plastic and high-tech parts and stuff, again, I'm doing that on the outside. We'll have to see how that goes, right? Okay, so Jacob, what's up? I hope it's all good in the neighborhood. You know it. All right. We'll get that emptied out here. Of course, this is one of my factories. This is one of my factories for raising greenhouse gases. I haven't. I mean, that's not really the focus of this. You know, I'm trying to make a self-sustained city with solvent green. I'm going with that all day, man. I'm going with that. Not going wider anymore. No. I'm going to try and let the city. I'm going to try and let the city grow into itself to use up the rest of these stations. Because I mean, it's still not. It doesn't even need these stations down here yet. Like it's actually able to do just fine with the 6 that we've got. Knowing what I know now, knowing that 400,000 people can be fed with this section here, like you can see here. Well, okay, I'm looking at the screen and I'm saying, okay, well, that's about 5 centimeters, right, or 2 inches. But I mean, like there's 5 centimeters or 2 inches missing over here, and there's 10 centimeters or 4 inches of space over here. So that's kind of a thing, right? So yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, road. Yeah, oh yeah. So I'm using roads as borders, right? I'm forcing the city to stay within a confined space. Yes. Now, don't get me wrong. We still have my standard city, right? Here's Rio, right? This is we've done this setup lots of times, and it works really good, right? They're always happy, but at the same time, I'm not letting Rio grow. Right? Rio isn't growing because I'm not giving it the composite. So it can't grow, right? It's stuck at 100,000. And this city was only for me to get to 100,000 so as I could get all the technology, right? Once we had all the technology, then it was like, okay, I'm good to go, right? Then I wanted to do on the real city, which of course is, what is it, Cabaz? It's something. It starts with a K, right? Koala. I think I'll just loving the river through the city. Yeah, I mean it's really too bad it destroys the city. But I mean it could be cleaned up. I mean if I cleaned it up a little bit. But this is only going to get worse, right? Poor Rio. Listen, you should hit the play button on that. And you should go stare at this for a second and watch it lose its mind. Just to make sure it's not losing its mind too much. Okay, so we had everything clean. Yeah, see, like it just exploded out here. It's like, bleh, I'm gonna puke this all out. Look, it's like you didn't give us room for a while, and we're really cranky with you. So that's a thing. Listen, let me clean Rio up here a little bit. It's actually going to get worse over here though if we raise the temperature, right? Turns out poor Rio's like in a floodplain, so it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Yeah, it's going to take a beating, people. It's going to take a beating. It is not going to look good for Rio once this is all done. If we go to the water graph here, boom, as you can see. But you can actually see the actual river going through Rio, which is actually pretty cool. But hopefully, if we keep raising the temperature, the rest of it isn't going to get much affected. I don't like the outer side stuff should be all right. Yeah, I mean it's epic water. It's definitely epic water. Now, this map was made with version 6.5.5, so everyone usually plays 650, right? I think they just put out in non-beta. Non-beta is 655, and that's what this map was generated with. Now, I was playing on beta, well, I'm playing on beta 660, but this map was generated on 655. I tried to generate some maps on 660, but they're super hilly. I think somebody like dialed up the mountain factor to 11 because it puts mountains in everywhere. Like and the thing is half the cities, it's putting half the cities in the middle of these mountains and all this stuff, and it's like, holy smokes, you'll never get anything to grow in there. What's up? What's wrong, guys? Listen, let me guess. You're full of waste again, right? No, you're not. All right, what's your problem? No, give me a city. Oh, limited. What are you limited on? Really, you're limited on composite and high-tech parts. Well, okay. I guess that's not a real big surprise. That was going to happen. They're just again, composites problem. Not enough steel waste coming out. High-tech problem is not enough metal waste coming out. So metal waste produces aluminum and steel, right? And so both of these are going to always be short because I can't get enough metal waste coming out of the city. Now we do have I do have a little bit of a plan for that. As you can see here, we do have a supplement line taking care of that, right? So if I zip on down here, we do have a little bit of a supplement mall, which allows me to keep that on tap, right? I can keep pushing these guys along here. So, let's see. I do got to make a few changes here, though. Not you. You're the high tech part guy. You're my reinforced. I really should get rid of these guys. The reinforced concrete could go a long time ago. Okay, so what are you? Okay, so you're my composite. I gotta move you. I gotta move you this way. You know what? Let's get rid of the reinforced concrete trains. The city's not going backwards, dude. Yeah, take these out of here. These are done. They've been done for a while. I think I've already taken... Oh, no. Here's the third one. All right, there they go. First of all, did you get rid of all the concrete? That's one. That's two. That's three. Get rid of that. Hit the play button so as they disappear. Poof. Okay, I do want to grab you're my composite, you're my other composite. All right, so I want to grab this one here, and I want to change it to I got a thing and a skip and a skip. I got to be careful with my skipping because we only have six things involved here at the moment. What? Whoa! What's going on here, guys? No wonder these guys are failing. Look, listen. I don't know what that was. I think that's when it was. I was doing this, and it came and it asked me for a factory, and I was like, "Why is it asking me that?" Well, that's because you just plopped something right in the middle of the train tracks, you goop. Bus trips over. Got to pick it up in the office. No problem, dude. So what happened over the past couple of days? Well, I mean, we've been, obviously, what's this, Monday? Saturday was Transport Fever 2, where we fixed the top plateau, and then yesterday was Mr. Prepper, and all the farm animals have now been kidnapped. Well, not all the farm animals, but some of the farm animals, so I gotta go find them. And then this is today. Tomorrow is the premiere episode of Infospace Terra, and then Transport Fever, and then Mr. Prepper is on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and Transport Fever 2 is on Thursday and Saturday. That's the schedule came out. The schedule came out about 12 hours ago. Of course, it's on all the socials, of course, in the schedules area. So that's what's going on. So this hasn't been moved. This hasn't been touched since last week. Well, it's been touched, but not much done with it since last week. I've been working on a new design, right? So, listen, you got to change this to here now. Cool. You now need to borrow this platform here. And you gotta go boop. I think it's boop. Is it? Am I booping here? Yes, I am. I am booping there, and I'm getting rid of that concrete. Yes, that's booping. You boop that. All right. So now you gotta boop the red one in. All right. Where is the red ones? The red. I know I've got more than one red one. Where's all the red ones? Are you? No. What are you? Yeah, okay, there's the other red one. All right, so I need you, dude. I need you to come up here and do this right here. Is it going to be right here? I think it's right here. Yeah, it's going to be right here. All right, boop, like that. And then I need you to do this like that and do that like that. Awesome. Dude, I can't watch Prepper live. No worries. I can't even watch Prepper live. Gotta go. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, it's just the way it is. This has been a crazy release schedule. everybody decided that the week of March 10th was when they were going to release their stuff. And the problem is there's only 7 days in a week. But 4 of them games I play, right? So squeezing it all in has been definitely a challenge. Now, the thing about Plan B is that it did come out 2 weeks earlier, and I had played a lot of it already. So, we got the city to 1 million, we got the city to 10 million, we got a bunch of stuff done there, so we're good. Okay, so I got that done, right? Yep, that's done, that's done, that's done, and that's done. Why does that one look like it's a little off? I think it's because I could have moved this up one here and then had done a thing. That's fine. I think it's okay. It's where it is, because these are not exactly like this side of the line is only used for this purpose. But why are you there, dude? Okay, you're the spare train. You're a spare train that I'm just letting run around. Listen, you can have 5 more. No, 5 more, not 10 more. 5 more. What are you doing? You're 20. Awesome. And you're 15. No, you can be 20. I'll let you be 20. What are you? You're 20. All right, cool. There. So this will supplement those lines with some extra of that. And it's not my... It's, again, I wish I could have gotten these to be 100% efficient. But the metal shortage and the plastic overage is really it's the metal shortage that's caused me the problem. The plastic overage is caused because I can't get enough metal out to recycle it. And I refuse to supplement that metal with baloney metal from the outside world. So I would rather it forcibly give me what it wants on its own. It's too bad the plastic wouldn't cut back a little bit and cuts me some slack, but anyway, it is what it is. High-tech parts can't be unloaded on one spot. Really? Let me check. Well, you can unload. I mean, look how far them drones are flying. Those drones are flying all the ways up there. These guys should be able to unload. Why not? Why aren't you unloading? I mean, these are red. What's wrong with these guys? Like, why aren't you high-tech parts? High-tech parts? Like, why aren't you unloading, guys? I mean, you guys are Mark III. You're Mark III. You should be able to unload this like no problem. Oh, you know what? These guys are recycling. So when you move a stop, what the trains have to do is they have to start again. So this looks bad, but it's not that bad. I have to let these guys go through their cycling, I think. That's where it is. But I will check the other side. We are going to check the other side. So you're unloading, yes. And that's what these guys are doing. These guys are doing the same thing, right? So these trains, because I moved that stop to here, it's like, oh, okay, we got to all start again. Now, luckily they don't. So when you used to move these stations before, it used to blank the trains and put them at the start. Well, what happens now is that at least it doesn't blank the trains, but the trains have to go back to the start to count again. So that's a thing. That's why I got to speed this up a little bit. Otherwise, we'll be here for like the next 10 days waiting for these guys to catch back up. But they will eventually go back to the station, go back to the origin, swing back around, right? So there they all go, right? They're on their way there. Now, when they come back up here, they will all do a thing. They'll all unload, and it'll be fine. So I just got to wait for them to get up here, right? Meanwhile, the rest of these guys, we got to make sure the rest of these guys don't get jammed. If I'm correct, you're using 3 spots for unload of parts. Yes. Well, yeah, these guys here, this is a spare. So when the city first got to 100,000 people, it didn't have the ability to make its own waste. So I had to jumpstart it, and I jumpstarted it with 3 trains of high-tech parts and 2, I think there's 3 trains of composite here too. Now, once I had it jumped, I just left the trains here sitting, right? So yeah, these guys aren't actually being used. I will, but I didn't want to destroy the line because they're carrying high-tech parts, and high-tech parts are a pain in the butt to make, so I've just been letting the train sit there. They'll be perfectly fine. And I'm going to leave them sitting there until, yeah, so I'm actually, so my bad. This one, I'm actually doing this on purpose. I'm just letting that train sit there, and they will sit there all day. Yeah, it's a spare spot for later use. Yep, that's what it is. So I just got to make sure that our waste problem isn't going to be a problem. The waste problem. No waste problem, please. Thank you. Goodbye. All the things. Waste, and waste. All right, cool. I think that takes care of the waste problem. Looks like I am going to have... it looks like I am going to have a organics problem, though. And it does become a problem, but it's very slow to become a problem. It's much less evident. And even as you can see there, some of them weren't actually a problem yet. They would have kept going. Most of them would have kept going for some time, but waste does slowly become a problem as the factory overtakes the recycling of waste, right? Now, the nice part about the recycling center for organic waste is it requires 5 organic waste to make 1 compost, which is a big number. So this platform is always being loaded up just for a single compost, right? So you do need a factory to offset the balance on that. And this factory, I must admit, just the placement of things has been really good. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, you should speed this up, dude. We got to get that. Yeah, they're growing again, right? So they got some growth. I'm assuming... No, we haven't got... Well, okay, they were growing. They were growing for a second, and then they weren't growing for a second. Listen, guys, can somebody bring 20 trains of things up here? Gee whiz. I mean, gosh darn it. I mean, these trains, they're not going that far. I mean, it's only down here. Well, okay, it's a little farther than something, but it's not like the end of the world. Like, it's like, there's the blue dot. There's where they're going. They're going right here. All 20 of them trains are here. Yeah, get out of here, guys. Go deliver me the things, guys. Go do that. Anytime now. Like, you drove all the way back down here to drive me crazy. And now I need you to drive all the way back up there to drive me crazy. Yeah, see, there they go. Growing, guys. Yeah, see, look at this. See, they're dropping off now. They've now made their cycle, right? And I'm assuming you guys are about to do the same thing because I had to send you guys back. Where are you guys at? Gee whiz. Hey. Good train help is hard to find nowadays, people. Good train help is hard to find. Listen, let's just double check, since these guys are growing like crazy, all right, so we do have a little space, but you know what, I think I'll give them their next 2 rows now, their next 2 or 3 rows, I'll be nice, I'll give you 3 rows. I try not to give them more than that, though, before they fully grow into stuff, and the reason is that, you notice here, if you actually keep a pretty tight lid on them, they'll actually give you a pretty green city, right? Like, I mean, they actually kind of like keep putting in the higher end buildings. So I try not to give them too much room at one time. So I mean, they're always going to have see this part of the city here. It's mostly like all the real high end stuff. There's only 3 rows of the first tier buildings, and if you keep them kind of tightened up like that, they will forcibly keep upgrading those buildings to doing that. So me opening this up is kind of being nice to them because I hadn't let this all fully filled in before I'm doing this, right? But we are going to have to add more road to the top because that's the thing. Meanwhile, I am avoiding this little area of things. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of a U-turn here. All right, there we go. We're gonna go around this factory. All right, let's rock and roll this, people. Off we go. I mean, it does look impressive from space. It does look really cool. So meanwhile, I have, again, I'm not worried about steel out here. I'm not sending steel to that city at all, right? Don't care. The only thing steel's being used for out here is you know, the tempered steel, which I do got to keep an eye on. You know, but I am getting some recycle out of Rio, or I was. So I really haven't been watching a lot of that. But overall, we're not using a lot of this. So hopefully we don't have too many problems. Meanwhile, this crazy lake is causing me all kinds of headache. Right? Ugh. Like, when you know, like, it's way over here. When I built this thing, I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to be a problem. This is going to be way over here. It's not going to interfere with me at all. But no, it has to put a river right down the center of my hex factories. Right down the center. Like, come on, guys. I mean, that's pretty cheesy. That's pretty cheesy, game. I think you're trying to troll me really hard, but whatever. You know, can't make anybody can't make these things happy anymore. Don't know what's going on here anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy. So obviously, again, these 6 areas are still not having a problem. It's like, yep, okay, we're able to get the waste out. All right, I'm like, yep, you can. You are getting the waste out. Again, it is unfortunate that I'm not able to use the recycled plastic, but it is what it is. I am still hoping, in a way, I am still hoping that as the city grows, it will grow into generating enough metal where it actually uses enough plastic. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get that lucky. And that's why working on this ribbon design for the next time we play may produce even a better result. But we're gonna push this city and see how far we can push it anyway. Listen, you got to put some road in here, dude, because that's a thing. So let's. I mean, while the city's counting the numbers up top, we'll do this. And I've got lots of road. I've got all kinds of road. I don't know why. What are you using the road for? Nothing. I'm just shaping my city with it. It's perfectly fine. Oh, the nice thing about doing this pattern, by the way, is you get to find all the tetradons, or whatever they're called, right? You know, but they've so yeah, you get to find all the really the goofy tetradons and their friends, right? So this guy is 8-sided, but he's not an octagon. He's one. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this guy's 8-sided, but it's not an octagon shape. And of course, this guy is a mess, right? He's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides on either side, and of course, this guy up here, he's got 13 sides. But this pattern does point them out to where it happens. Which is actually really cool. Oh. What happened, guys? What happened? Let me guess, you're all shoved up on plastic again. Guys, come on now. Can you guys be happy with the plastic issue? I know. I really wish the plastic issue would go away on its own myself, dude, but it's not, and I wish it would just be a thing. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay, there's some poop. All right, there we go. There, we've cleaned up the poop. We've cleaned up the plastic. I'm assuming that was your cranky problem, right? Yes, that was your cranky problem. 98.99. There you go. Look at that. See, you're all happy now. But you got to watch them pretty fast because they'll fill up them trays pretty quick. Okay, all the things. Here we go. And of course, what we'll do here is we'll let it expand out here a little bit. Now, you have this train here, Max. Yes, and I need this train, so let's not mess it up. Okay. It turns out that train is being used, going to be used by one of our 2 fluoride factories that is going to force the kids brushing. We're going to put the factory right in the center of the city to force them to brush their teeth immediately. is what we're doing there. Connection to dynamic storage would help. Yeah, right? Dynamic storage. But the problem is there's just no way I can get all the... now, I might be able to get these guys to leapfrog out enough that I could probably clean them up. I could probably do it with plastic too, right? I might be able to pull it off so as I can get them to come out here and into some sort of weird line that I could clean them up all the time. I mean, it's just a bit of a bummer because again, like if I could just get enough metal coming out, I think they'll pull it off, right? That's kind of the trick. And you can see, like, it's like, see, now they're actually pulling some metal out. This is the first time in a long time I've seen metal actually sitting, like, with metal waste actually sitting on the platforms. So, does that mean, like, now we're getting closer and closer to parity where, you know, like, they could actually, like, equal each other out? You know, I mean, that's possible, right? And if that's the case, that's awesome. because then that's my dream come true, right? I mean, that would be like, yes, that's what I wanted, people. Now, I realize my organic waste is a little off, and it will always be a little off because I got this factory in here that's causing me a bunch of headaches, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But, you know, I mean, these guys are getting closer to parity all the time. Look, see, they're making tempered steel, which means these guys would make their own stuff, and they don't need me to supply it, right? That's really good, guys. Yeah, keep going, guys. That's what I want. Parity, people. We want parity. If it will all work out. If it will all just work out. I mean, they are getting pretty close. I mean, this is actually really exciting. Like, that platform isn't keeping up quite, but it's all so intense, people. It's all so intense. Listen, you gotta give these guys more space. Okay, let's do that. So you'll notice here, like, see how they're like pushing their way to the back of the city. You know what? I'm gonna force them to go to like 850,000 or so. I'll let these guys force their way back here a little bit more before I expand them out. To get rid of some of this tier 1 buildings and at least force it to be tier 2 buildings. Yeah, keep going. Oh. What's your problem? What's your problem? Yeah, waste. What is the problem? The problem is plastic waste. Look, they were keeping up. And then all of a sudden it all went sideways. And it was like, nope, we can't do it anymore. Oh, darn it. Come on, guys. Impress me. Impress me. Look, there's waste. There's metal waste on these platforms. Don't disappoint me. Don't you dare disappoint me. Right? Yeah, plastic waste is not full. Yeah, that's it. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Now, I will say I have the ratios correct to make this work. All right, so I'm going to slow this down for a second. So you'll notice here you get 3 tempered steel out of this one factory. Each of these composite factories needs 1 tempered steel. So there's 3 of those factories here that can take the 3 tempered steel and turn it into this. All right. These 3 factories need 1 polymer bar. This guy needs 1 polymer bar. So that's 4 polymer bars. Okay. Now, it turns out the recycling waste up here, these guys would produce 2 bars. Okay. And then these 2 can produce 2 bars for 4 bars. So all the balancing is fine, right? The issue is just the amount of waste generated to keep it all running versus the using of the stuff to keep it all running, because keeping it all running is a challenge in a day. Yeah, do that. I see you guys are backing up on food waste now all of a sudden. Why is that, guys? Like, everybody was all happy, and now you guys are doing the food waste, organic waste. Like, why is everybody pooping all of a sudden like crazy? If it's not one thing, it's another. It's not one thing, it's another. All right, listen. Open the floodgates up for these guys. Let the sun shine in. Look. As soon as I'm removing the blocks, they're filling it in. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, you do got to be a little careful when you're doing this stuff, right? Zip, and then zip. Yeah, that is pretty cool. What goes in must come out. Well, yes, it does. But I wish it would come in and out evenly, right? Like, I can understand, you know, food goes in, food comes out. But I wish it was more even. Even Stevens or something. I don't know. It's driving me crazy. I know that. Yeah, I wish it was more even Stevens. Yeah, these guys are driving me crazy. Yeah, stop it, guys. Okay, look, let me swipe these down. Yeah, I'll take these out. There you go. Okay, be careful around this factory. We don't want it to get messed up there. All right. Okay, do. There we go. We're gonna let you guys come up this way a little bit. Sure, we're gonna be nice like that. Okay, all the things. There, I don't have to come back to this corner for a while. Do that, and we'll keep going across here for a minute. There we go. Yeah, we'll get you guys a little bit of room here so I don't have to... You guys are so squeezed in here. There we go. Do that. This. Boop. All right, there we go. Look, guys, let me at least clean the line out before you start trying to move in, okay? I don't want to blow up your house by mistake. Gee whiz. Yeah, come on now. All right, there we go. We'll give you a little more speed. You all seem to be behaving really well. It must be between poop cycles. Poop and plastic cycles. Oh, we've stopped. Let me guess. Who is it that's blocking everything? Plastic is. Of course it is. That's what plastic does. Plastic blocks everything. All right, so plastic, plastic. Actually, these guys have a lot of metal on those platforms, dude. Wow. That's actually really impressive. That's actually a little scary because that might mean I have to open a new piece of the ribbon here shortly to go to 7, is what that's going to probably mean. Okay, that's fine. There we go. We'll take that out. Stop giving them the edible sporks. The edible sporks. Yeah, that's what's causing it. Yeah, them sporks. Yeah, them edible sporks. Trouble them things are. I mean, anything, you know, the person that came up with, like, the combination fork spoon, you know, I mean, there's just so much evilness there that's exactly what the problem's been since minute 1. I totally agree. I totally agree on that. Come on, guys, listen. I think we're gonna have to open up a number 7. Listen, let me do that before we run out of water. Hey guys, listen. Time for the trains. Listen, how many nitrogen, water, huh? Let's throw on 20 trains. I'm gonna put it on 25 trains because this thing's getting a little long in the tooth. All right. So we're opening up area number 7. There we go. Processing center number 7. This means congratulations, guys. You get your own waste disposal facility. We also got to give these guys all the markings of the wonderful stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do that. We take you and put you in there, and I need to put something in there, I think. Okay, there we go. That's groovy. All right. Yes, because that's where we are. All right, off you go, guys. It'll be 2-3 minutes before them trains get up here anyway, because they're coming from the bottom of the map, right? So those trains aren't getting here fast right away. But these guys will start loading this all up right away, of course, because they lose their minds every time. I am going to actually blank that out because that's been made by a factory. And that's evil. That's very evil of it. So you've got your 2 food stations here, right? Yes, you do. You've got your 2 food stations. Recycling is taking place in those 4 factories. Looks good. Steel is coming out here, which means, yeah, you're missing your nitrogen. That's bad. If they don't get here soon, I'll have to blank that out, because that's a thing. In fact, I'm a little concerned about this. These guys are like really plowing ahead here, because this will all jam up really fast. Here we go. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm glad to see you guys finally starting to keep up with some like metal, but I really wish you guys would not make a mess of things all the time. Don't make a mess of things. All right, there we go. Take that. Yeah, organic waste. All that can come out. There we go. All the things. And we'll just do those ones because I'm already here. Okay. Yep, keep growing, guys. Into the 800,000 range. Listen, I'm going to actually take my next couple lines off here, just to save me that compression problem of the last round. And I should put some road lines in, because they're catching up with me really fast, by the looks of it. Sure. We'll do that here in a second. Yeah, like, look at these guys. I mean, come on, guys. Give me a break. I mean, you haven't even filled out the corners yet, and you're going to try and cut me off in here already? That's pretty slack, people. It's pretty slack. You know, you guys have to fill out all the ribbon. You have to fill out the whole corners and things before we do the things. Yeah, so just make that happen. Yeah, like, look at all the room over here. I mean, you know, cliff-facing mountains. Who doesn't want to live beside cliff-facing mountains, guys? So get over here and move in. Gee whiz. All right. Do that. Okay, there we go. Nope. Somewhere's around there. Okay, and we'll take this one down here. All right, so we'll draw some lines in, of course, and hopefully these guys... Really? Are you guys plugged up already? Really? What are you plugged up with? Tell me, City. What's your problem? 2 problems. Wow, that's not what I expected. 80%. Everything is jammed. There. Wow, high-tech parts and food is the problem. Food is the problem. What is the problem? Okay, well, we did... Oh, all right, so has the trains got up here for this factory yet? They have not. Now, nitrogen is just arriving. That's good, because these guys are going to need it. But the water hasn't gotten here yet. I'm hoping that the water arrives here momentarily. So that will fix the food issue. What is the high-tech parts issue, guys? Besides you guys being lazy and not flying enough stuff in, I think is the problem. Anyway, first problem's first, dude. You got to clean out all the things. Everything is jammed. So let's just take care of that problem first. Yep. There we go, and that's the 7 of that. All right. Clean this side out. Okay. Do all the things. And again, that 7th one we just opened will clean itself up as soon as nitrogen and water get put in there, right? Immediately just, that will all just, a lot of that will just disappear as soon as the nitrogen and water arrives. So we'll clean this up. Okay, that's going to make you happy. You'll be happy with food as soon as you 2 guys come online. Because you got the compost, guys. Oh, I thought you had the compost. Where's your compost at, guys? I didn't blank it out. Anyway, you'll get compost here shortly, guys. Oh yeah, nitrogen is the problem. Yeah, nitrogen's the problem everywhere. I need these guys to get filled up full of stuff. All right. Well, the water's now arrived. That's great. And hopefully this will take care of that issue. Tempered steel's now being processed because they're now getting nitrogen, which is going to help me out with that problem. So yeah, waste is not the issue at the moment because I cleaned off the platforms, and food is the issue because of that. It figured out the high-tech part problem, and now it's trying to move forward. But this will give me a second to clean, add some more road lines up here. So we'll do that while it's cleaning itself up. All right, so let's do that. So that way, as soon as that's ready to go, we can push, we can press ahead with more people. More people. I want more people. Just give me all the peoples. There we go. All right. Now, I had hoped that this design would work because, of course, I am looking to make a ribbon design because, don't get me wrong. I've seen cities push to 100 million people with factory built stuff, and yes, I could use my hex factories to push. We could go back to the 10 million map and push that to 100 million, all the things. But that's not going to help anything, right? I want a ribbon that's self-sustained, so as we could just push the city like almost, besides needing water and nitrogen, almost automate everything, so as it could actually push itself all the way there, and then just make sure we control the map and how it's growing to get it to over 100 million on its own, right? Or mostly on its own is really kind of the thing I'm trying to do. Is the food now kicking in? Is that what I'm seeing there? The numbers are trying to go up really hard. Yes, that's exactly what's going on. These guys are like, hey, guess what? We can make our own food now. That's a thing. I know. I know. Yay, us. We can make our own food. So, again, food is never really a problem. You always know that's when it's time to bring on another sector because everything starts to jam up and then food becomes the shortage, right? So, that's a thing. Wow, they really plowed through the food too, right? So they're gonna be running a little lean here for a bit, but they will catch up eventually. Okay, so that means you can probably kick that in a little bit. We'll throw in some more road. Yes, I know they've just died at 5, 9, 12. I'm assuming waste is the problem. But I'm actually going to... Oh, no, there they go. 913, 914. And they're going to stop and start there for... That's why I'm letting that other factory kind of warm up first while I put in this next row... These bunch of new roads, so as we can keep them under control. So by the time they get warmed up, I can go down there and then just start cleaning things up. I'm assuming waste is now the problem because it hasn't moved now in about 25 seconds. So we'll go down there, we'll fix their waste issues. Okay, all the things. There we go. All right. Oh, it moved and then didn't move. Are you guys trying to figure it out? Are you really trying to figure it out, guys? I know you're trying. You're trying some hard. Yeah, these guys got shorted on food. See, they're going to be fighting back and forth with that food all the time. Meanwhile, what plastic waste is the issue again? Gosh darn it. Silly plastic waste. Here, have that. Have that. All the things. Have all the plastic waste things. What I think I'll do here is I will try to bring that plastic waste out here so I can control it better and then delete it as I want to, right? So that's plastic waste. I can put it here, and then I can put it in the center of that circle, and then put it out here. Yes. Where is that? Okay, so that's here, the center of the circle, and then there. Center of the circle, here, and then right there. Yes. Boom, boom. And right there. And then I'll do the same thing with the metal waste. I'll try and pull it out here so as I can try and keep it clean at the same time. There, and there. And then that's right there, right? Yes. let's move my organic waste down so I can clean this up a little bit. Just put the organic waste here just so as I can clean it up later. That way I have access to deleting it, doing all the things. Yep, do that. Yeah, it's not over here, so we're okay. Yeah, so if I put in the plastic ones here, it doesn't make a difference. I'll put the organic one here, and then I'll clean this up. Okay, yeah, give me that. Okay, all the things. Zip. Yes, I probably need that sometimes. We'll just put that down here temporarily. Okay, that's the compost. I don't usually delete a lot of compost, but we'll see what happens with it. I can take them out now. Let's come down here. All right, so now metal waste. Metal waste can go here, here, and here. Okay, so we can do that. Right in between the two. Right in between the two nitrogens is how I'm going to play this one. Right between the two nitrogens. There we go. So that way I don't got to try and keep seeing them inside the city. I can just look at the bottom of the map and then clean them up from there. Okay, there we go. And then over here it's between the two nitrogens. Like that. Done. So that will take care of, yeah, so see how they're pulling out the plastic and the waste and all the stuff out here. So now I can just look at it out here, and then I can just blank it out here if I need to, right? That'll make things a lot easier. Do that, do this, and then, no, guys, no, guys, no, stop that, no, stop that, guys. Listen, I want to make blanking platforms. Can I do that? There you go. Yeah, I know you guys have to be out of range, or you guys will lose your minds. So that's fine. Let's see. What's the city upset about? 99% on the. I'm assuming food is still the issue. No, it's high-tech parts. Why is high-tech parts the issue? Really? Do you want another line of high-tech parts? I mean, I have the third train here for a reason, right? So, I mean, yes, I can give you the high-tech parts. It's not that, but it seems a little early for high-tech parts. And yes, you are suffering for food. So you know what? I'm not going to give you them high-tech parts yet, dude. I think you got to figure out your food situation first. I mean, there's enough compost here that both of these factories should be keeping up. All right, so it's just this end factory that doesn't have enough compost yet. Well, listen. You guys were pooping like crazy 5 minutes ago. Poop faster. All right, and recycle faster. They can't get into the city too fast. Well, yes, they couldn't. That's why I've now opened up this seventh area, right? So as they can get into the city fast enough again. The issue is just getting them working, right? Getting them up and running. Let me bring up, let's bring up the next 20 trains. I'm not going to open this section here, but I'll bring up the stuff for it. 25. Yeah, let's bring up the water and the nitrogen. So this will at least kick in the food stuff. There. And what that will do is that will at least use up the food, like the organic waste and a few other things. Like it will supplement it along, so that will at least take care of that. Yeah. I think we are going to have to push that a little harder, though. I'm speaking about tech parts. Platforms are full. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to add it. I wasn't going to, but I really don't have much choice, do I? Yeah. It's got to be added. Yeah, I think so. We're going to have to add it. Okay, since I'm going this way, I will add it here, but it's really unfortunate. Yeesh. I didn't really want to add it here, but I will. I mean, I could leave it where it is. Where is it? It's right there, right? Well, you could just put it here. All right, well, let's do that. Destination change. Right to here. Raise that to 20 trains, and then we will put the platform here, here, and there. All right. That will get in the extra. That'll get in the extra high-tech parts, hopefully, without too many issues. What's going on out here? We'll blank these out. Okay. Now, the nice part about blanking these out is that I can kind of do multiples of these, right? Which will definitely keep the plastic flowing faster. All the things. Yeah, these guys aren't even turned on over there. Oh, that was very sneaky of you guys. Look at these guys. They were down here like, yeah, we're going to use your little example as an extra storage spot. Is that okay? No, that was not okay, guys. That was not okay. That was very sneaky of you. That was not supposed to. It's not supposed to happen. That was very sneaky. Very sneaky. Anyway, nevertheless. Do that, do this, yep. Okay, so let's see what the big complaints are. The big complaints are organic waste is now full. Well, of course it is, because that's a thing. 1 minute I couldn't get you guys enough food, and the next minute you're pooping too much again. Holy smokes. Now, I can bring the organic waste out to here. I will probably automate that one next, right? I'll get it to come out to the edge somewhere and then take care of it from there. So, organic waste can come out to here, to here, to here. Yes. To here, to here, to here. And then same deal everywhere. Yep, give me that. And where's my organic waste at? Oh, there it is. You just got to stare at the right road, dude. Yeah, so do that, and do that. You just replaced the wrong thing. Yeah, do that. And then do this. Do this and do that. There you go. And 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. That should zoom that out a little bit. All right, so that's going to take care of the waste problem. Yes, it does. Now we can just get the high-tech parts in, because these guys are catching up on their food issue. Excellent. That's what we want. Okay. And again, it's really unfortunate that these guys just cannot seem to keep up with their requirement, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Is that... No, that's not the one I wanted. This is the one we're watching for. This one right here. Where's the trains at, guys? Anytime now. You know, anytime you want to bring them extra trains up here, I'll really appreciate it. I'm going to take that out of there for a second. Boop. Okay. Do that. Just to make sure nobody's jammed up anywhere. Now, the nice part is that if the center's running short, it should pull this stuff back in, right? So, for example, if metal starts to run really short in here, the drone should take the extra back into the center, right? So that's hopefully what I'm hoping for here anyway. Yes, plastic is a pain in the butt, but it's always going to be a pain in the butt, so that's just the way it is. All right. Come on, train, where are you? Dude, there you are. I see you unloading. There it is. Do it, do it, do it. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Now, are you saying that food's now the problem? Come on. Give me a break. Food should not be the problem. Get out of here. Get out of here. Food should not be the problem. Now it's back to high-tech parts being the problem. Go on. That's baloney. Yeah. All right. You're gonna. Whiz? How dare you cause me this much problem? Oh, there we go. Right, high-tech part. Okay, well, food's now the problem. Darn it all. Yep. All right. Listen. You're really bumming me out, game. I just brought on this whole extra line. This shouldn't be an issue. You guys do have your 2 factories, right? Yes, you do. Yes. Well, see, I could have put a 3rd food factory in, but I can't now because I'm using it as a poop depot. Darn it. Because if I put a factory here, it's too far away from the compost. It won't work. You'll never work. But yeah, see now my organics is messed up. My organics plan, my ultimate plan for organics, and you can't go any other way with it except for this way because this is all this is now 4 layered in, right? That's why I was never doing 4 layers. That's why I'm calling them dynamic storage. Yeah, dynamic storage, right? Geez. What do you want to do about this problem, Max? Where are you gonna put in this extra food? Like, there's no. I mean, I can always bring more food online. That's not an issue. Like, all I got to do is just bring in more trains. Oh, these guys still haven't arrived? Oh, okay. Well, here, get these guys up here, because as soon as load this up, guys. Because as soon as these guys get enough food, they'll be happy. Yeah. Where's the water trains? Yeah, get up here. Start pumping out all the pump out all that compost. Yeah, there's the water trains. Okay, I was gonna say I knew I'd brought on 2 more food factories. This shouldn't even have been a thing. I'm just gonna ignore everything. All right, there we go. We're just ignoring that. And yes, high-tech parts is probably yeah, that's it. Go, guys. Let's go. Yes, unload all the trains. Yeah. I realize, look, these guys can't, yeah, like, I mean, these platforms are full anyway. Go on, get out of here. Yeah, that's it. Gee whiz. There was an awful lot of drama there for, like, a food factory. Here. Have that. Yes, that's exactly where you're supposed to go. Congratulations, guys. You're now a fully functional sector. I should actually do a thing here. I gotta do the thing where you do this, this, and this, and I'm not actually putting the tops on these ones on purpose. This. I'm going to cut them back on carbon just a little bit, just to see if I can get it a little more under control, but we'll see what happens. You can replace the middle water. Oh, I could. Yes, I could force a 3rd food factory in here. If I think that's going to be the issue, I could try and do that. So let's keep an eye on it for now. These guys are going to be happy because now I've just opened up another whole sector, right? So of course they've got extra food factories like going crazy. But let's do that instead. So instead of opening up another new one on the next one, what we'll do is we will actually put a 3rd food factory in that water spot, which will allow us to pull that out, hopefully. Hopefully without too many headaches. No headaches, people. No headaches. Because that would be bad. Too many headaches. As the plastic now builds up. I can see the plastic building up. It's like crazy. Here. Kill that plastic off, guys. All the things. Here we go. Yep. Plastic is a thing. I'm surprised to see so much metal here. I was having so much metal problem for so long, and now it seems to be also a thing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I just wish it was balancing out more. Because it just, I don't know if it's because, like, I'm just riding that close in each sector to getting it that close, or what's going on. But anyway, I won't kill off all the metal. I'll just kill off some of the metal. Just to force it to kind of get thinner, right? Is what I'll do. I will just do it this way. And maybe we get a little lucky with that. Sure. I mean, why not? I mean, these guys are full of aluminum. That's great. Okay. Now what's the problem, guys? You stopped again. High-tech parts is the problem. Really? Well, alright. I guess we can put in another one. Yeah, stop there, guys. Let me go grab a train. Because I don't have any spare trains for this, right? All the trains are now used. So, grab that from there. Wow, this actually is a problem. These guys are going through this. So we're actually going to have to make some more of that. Which is really a bummer, because I thought these guys were doing so good at keeping up with that stuff, and now they're not. You know, the sadness in my voice, you know, all the sadness things. We'll put this in for now, though. High-tech parts, we'll throw 20 trains at it. We'll throw 22 trains at it. And we'll take this here, do that, do this. Put that back in there. I got quite the mess going on here now to try and stop these guys from expanding all the time. Yes. Now, that's because these guys had my concrete probably at one time, and I took it out. All right, that's fine. So you're going to be a couple minutes getting here. That's fine, I think. Yes. Plastic waste is full. Why is it full? It's not full. I just cleaned them all out. Those are lies. Yeah, lies. Yeah, listen. I just cleaned that all out. You get down here and you remove all the things. Remove all the things. Let me tell you guys, plastic waste is not an issue. There we go. All right. What are you saying? Well, it's full. Well, it's sort of full. It's not completely full. It's switching back and forth to being full and not full. Now it's back to it's switching back and forth. Driving me crazy. Oh, composite is now going to be the shortfall. Well, of course it is, because that was a thing. Oh, gee. Okay, fine. Look. Alright, listen, give me that. Give me this. Give me that. Well, we'll go grab you a composite train, I guess. And then I'm going to have to fix this down here. So, unfortunately, like I said, this ribbon experiment, it was like I tried even adding all these extra stuff to it and the things. It just doesn't balance out right. It just doesn't balance out right. But I think it's got the next version, my next revision of the ribbon has a much higher chance, because it can do what this is doing automatically, but we're doing it manually. Listen, where did you just put all that, Max? You put that right here. Okay, cool. Put that in. Do this, and then you can finish talking about what it was you were talking about. Okay, cool. All right, do that. Excellent. So, of course, like I mentioned, the ribbon I'm working on now basically does this, but does this automatically, right? So it runs it up and down the ribbon looking for a free factory to shove it into so as it can try to get rid of it, right? And then the output goes looking for a free factory so as it can shove it into something. So I'm hoping that we'll find this. Oh yeah, I'll find it, right? So like it's just being really it's just being really fussy. It's being really fussy. I mean, this was part of this challenge. This was the challenge, right? The challenge wasn't about growing a city to, like, you know, oodle craziness. It's about finding the perfect ribbon setup so as I could then grow a city to all kinds of craziness. But there's no sense trying to grow a city to craziness if the ribbons we're trying to use aren't functional or aren't going to do as efficient as we want, right? That's fine. We'll make it happen, people. It's going to happen. It's going to happen because I put a lot of vocal research into this, and I don't know why. It's like one of them little things I got my mind stuck on. It's like, yeah, I'm going to figure this out. You know, I will figure out the balance of the force somewhere. Okay. Clean that up. Yeah, see, these guys aren't even, like, fully finished filling in this side yet. Yeah, these guys still got all kinds of room over there. Yes, I'll clean this up to be a little nicer. Yeah, there we go. We got some growth going on now. There we go. It's on and it's off. It's on and it's off. I mean, they'll figure they will figure it out, I guess. Okay, do that. I'm assuming I should slow this down a little bit. Because that is the one thing about running fast speed. Like, the city right now is just maintaining itself. It's not growing. So it has to use resources just to maintain itself at the same time, right? Which is dangerous, because a city that's not growing all the time is basically just wasting resources. And that's scary, right? That's scary. Okay, are you going to keep running for more than 34 seconds now? Is that a thing? You know what? It probably would if you actually start blanking some of this out and make yourself not have a heart attack all the time. So if you go up and down these lines a little bit, the city may actually keep running. All right, do that. Okay, and then go back this way and do the same thing. And then you can fix the organic matter too. Obviously, food doesn't appear to be the issue. It seems to be struggling about making the food, but I think what we'll do is we'll throw it, but at least compost is now starting to back up again. So what we'll do is we can always throw in that, like the occasional third food factory, just to kind of force it to do something. Like, I mean, we can do this. Like, well, I was going to say we could, but now these guys are going through the water so heavy, they're going to need more water trains. Okay. 385. You know what? You're going to have to give these guys like 50 trains, dude. There's level 18. 1 million people. You betcha. Yep. I mean, everything's unlocked. Congratulations. You've completed the game. In its current form, anyway. Right? Yeah. In its current form, you've beat the game. Oh. Wow. This is different. They just added this. Caught me off guard. Yes. Gaddy Games. Gaddy is on Discord all the time. Wow, that actually scared the heck out of me when it cut the screen over. Art, I have seen Centauri on there a fair amount. So that's actually really cool as well. But the two of them are on their Discord server all the time, a fair amount of the time. So I must admit that is actually pretty cool. Now these are some of the early beta testers, I'm assuming. Because you can actually join their beta program anytime just by switching it over in Steam. But I'm assuming these are the actual early beta testers with that. And the Ministry of Economy and Finance. I mean, I thought that all looks French to me. So that looks like it's French. Okay, well, I'm gonna let this keep playing because this is the first. I mean, this is the first one. Last segment's waste output isn't connected to the city. All right, I'll check it here in a sec. All right, so does this disappear on its own, or do I have to actually push the back button? I think I actually have to push back. Okay, so the city. Meanwhile, in the city, listen, you're gonna have to crank these all up. Is that gonna be a problem? Yeah, okay. Give these guys like a lot more water, because it appears suddenly that they're getting greedy. Okay, 40, 50. Yeah, I know that's a depot of water. 30, 40, 50. That means I might actually need to jump up the old nitrogen train. Oh yeah, look at this. This water's like basically gone. Like. And again, this only shows the point that I was making earlier about how each of the sectors each of them has their own balance issues. Like this guy, he's super making food like crazy and using up all the water. Meanwhile, the guy next door, he's like, I got all kinds of water. Like I don't need any water. And I'm like, yeah, but see, had this guy kept up with making all his food, he would have been fine. He would have, but no, couldn't have done that, huh, guys? No, that would have been too easy. But anyway, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know why it is like that, but it is just kind of quirky that way. Okay, so what are you guys' biggest complaints? Your biggest complaint is not enough food again, and you're gonna have a big problem here, dude, because water's gonna be your problem. Listen, you better increase these to 45, or at least in the 40s. Yeah, like, because if all this stuff starts running out, then we're going to have a problem. Now, luckily, I got the trains to do this. Of course, I've been making trains the entire time, but it's just a bit of a bummer. Okay, yep, that's fine. Okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there we go. So let's go down here. How's this looking? Oh, there's all kinds of water. Yeah, water is not, yeah, the source is not the problem. Just the delivery of the trains. I mean, usually when you're delivering something from the poles to the center of the map, you need probably 60 plus trains to do it. So me running only 20 trains on there, I was actually quite surprised it was keeping up for as long as it did. So no surprise, I guess. It probably should have been increased a while ago, but anyway, we'll hit the button in the things. We'll see what happens. You know, I mean, if we can get it to grow a little bit more, we'll get it to grow a little bit more. If not, then I guess then it will be next week with my new design. My new design, my what will I call that? Version 3 design of the Ribbon City, where we're gonna try. Gosh darn it, we're gonna try to make it happen. And of course, as mentioned, there it goes. It's growing again now, right, guys? Right, like you're growing again, right, guys? 99%. Everybody. Okay. Supply is choking, limited choking. So, of course, that's the thing. Here, clean these off so as we can try and keep the city from choking itself out. Yep, there we go. How many of these sectors do I got open now? I did have 6 at the start, but I think I've got 9 now. So, yeah, because I want to, I kind of want to, like, show at the bottom here, put that other line back in, and then at the same time show a couple other things. But the poor city's just going to keep me busy all the time. That's what it's going to do. Yeah, this is your life, Max. This is your life, emptying platforms of junk because we're not recycling it out in the ribbon properly. Well, it was an attempt. I just was hoping it was a better attempt. I mean, don't get me wrong. The flea dancing is awesome, right? I mean, you're getting a lot of flea action here. You just can't. It doesn't get any better than that, flea action. But we're just having a really hard time with food. And again, some of these are like really, guys? You just couldn't make enough compost over there, huh? No, just that wasn't going to happen. Okay, listen here. You can have that factory. Here, you can have one too. I don't know what's going to happen with the water, but we'll see what happens. This guy's out of water. He's like, man, I'm so thirsty. I'm like, listen, somebody deliver this poor guy some water, would you? You got, well, I did put 50 trains on there. Here, give him 55 trains. Give this poor guy some water. Holy smokes. Hopefully that will handle the food problem. Because, yeah, I don't want to open up another sector. And then, and the other here issue is demand just continuously skyrockets, right? I will say the demand does skyrocket a lot. Listen, yeah, you totally messed this up, dude. You totally messed this up. This has to come out. This has to come out. This has to go in. But now this won't turn on until this grows into that spot, and he won't grow into that spot because the city's not doing a thing. Well, of course it's not, because plastic's full again. If it's not the plastic, it's something else. I am so surprised that we're not getting enough compost out at the moment. I did not expect that to be a choke point. You know, I mean, it's kind of funny how, like, you know, like for the longest time, I've been so focused on plastic and metal, and it was like the organics were never really giving me any hard time. And it was like, yeah, organics are fine, right? And you know, we had the extra factory here. Between the organics factory and these guys, this platform was always full, right? It was always full. So these guys were always producing way too much food. These platforms were always full. And I was like, yeah, food, it's fine, right? But yeah, now all of a sudden it's the exact reverse. Now all the things are filling up. But the funny part is that we still have to supply from the outside, and that's kind of weird because these should all be running out. But again, this is where we will try version 3 of the ribbon next week. All the things. You can connect them under the train lines. I could, but now it's yeah. Now it's getting to a point where it's like, okay, you know, like, where do you want to, like, how much do you want to do this, right? And I mean, all I'm really doing here is blanking these out. Excuse me. All I'm doing now is blanking stuff out, right? And in fact, I can't do that with the organics. Because the train track takes one loop, it would be too much. So the organics, I can't actually do that. I mean, I could try and do this. I mean, you know, but this is all just temporary, right? I mean, we're just kind of messing around now. You know, it's unfortunate, but this version of the ribbon, I wouldn't call it a failure, but it's not a success. Obviously, it has issues with getting close to 1 million people, and it's borked. It's all borked. It's bork. Yep. It's definitely got the Muppets written all over it. It's borked. It is all bork. All bork, all the time. All the things. Yep. Alright, well, we'll keep going there. I mean, yeah. I mean, this will definitely do a thing. Now, this is actually a good test of something, though. I mean, look at how much it's already filled that plastic up. I can't believe it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, what are you guys doing up here? Like, you literally can't be pooping. Like, I know you're not pooping out that much stuff. Anyway, nevertheless, this is a nice test because I wanted to see how much the tier 3 stuff actually moves this all around. So this is actually quite interesting. So, like, I think these platforms hold a 40, I think is their limitation. Yeah, so, like, this has 31 on it. I'm pretty sure it's 40 is what a platform holds. Well, this is full, and that's 40, right? So, that's a thing. So, yeah, now, see, we have some food being built up here. That's pretty crazy. So if I do this and then just blank you all out, losing your minds, right? Yeah, and I just run down here like a crazy man. Yeah, I'm overwriting some of them organic matter ones, but that's all right. I won't worry about those. Zip. Okay, there we go. And then if you take the plastic and you go back the other way, being careful not to overwrite the organics because you can't afford to overwrite all the organics. Okay. Yes, I can overwrite the metal because the metal's within 3, but you can't overwrite the the organics. You got to keep them. There you go. Okay, all the things. Okay. Well, that's. I mean, this is. Oh, no. Oh, it dragged that. Nice move there. The lag got me. That was not my fault. That was all lag. That was so much lag. It was like, boom. I'm like, wait a minute. But the city is growing. The city still is growing, all the things. But, okay, well, I mean, this is why we'll try another experiment. You know, like I said, we'll try... like I said, the ribbon experiment I've got coming up where where we do that. And then, of course, we would have all the... in fact, if I put a bunch of factories down here, it'll probably start recycling all this stuff, right? I would think. So if, like I say, yeah, recycle all this metal, right? And I do this for every second one. Okay, do this. Yeah. Yeah, anybody want free metal? We're going to get all kinds of it here shortly. Do that, do this. Okay, yeah, do that. Go this way. Now the problem is I don't have a place to put, I don't have a place to put all 3 lines of this stuff, right? So then if you take this and you do the plastics, the polymer bars, again, it's really unfortunate that that the metal one actually does aluminum and steel at the same time, because there's always the potential that we could have probably done something with it, right? Okay, do that, and all the things. Okay, and then if out here I were to do something like this, and I say, okay, you can be all the polymer bar that you want to be, and then we'll just swing that all the way down here like this. So this is sort of what I've got designed in the other map, but this actually might work out even better if I figure out how to make this all work. Take this. So now this is where steel and aluminum are going to have to come into play. So steel would be here. Okay. And then aluminum would have to come after that. Okay. All the things. Oh, that was... Yeah, okay. Yeah. Whoa, easy now. Easy now. All right, you're good. You're good. You're okay. Yep. Listen, I don't know why it is you don't want to overwrite that, but listen, overwrite that one. Overwrite that one. Aluminum is next. Aluminum. All right. Do this. Blank, blank. Okay, and now drag this one down. Okay, and go this way, because you're going to have to overwrite those. There we go. Now, the only issue is the organics, right? The organics are going to jam us up here, because it looks like they're already full. Okay. So, how do you want to handle organics? Well, that's not that hard, actually. You could do... that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted. Listen, grab this, put these guys back in there, compost. No, see, that's not going to work. This is only going to work if you have nitrogen to go with it, and we're not going to have the nitrogen here. That's going to have to be one of the puzzles I have to work out. It's like, okay, how do you take care? Like, it's great that you can directly take care of these two, but like, how do you take care of this one where it needs, where it actually needs like a thing, right? So that's steel and aluminum. Do that, and no, I need you to be plastic. I need you to be plastic, right? Yeah. So the organics is still an issue. I mean, look at the amount of metal we're getting out of this thing. it's like its own metal factory. Yes, this is fine, but still needs refinements. You have to figure out the organics. The organics are a separate altogether matter, and that's why I'm not. I didn't do it this way in my test map. I did it this way. I did this, and this, so as they could leapfrog each other all the way down the line, and then figure out which factory they need to go to. Now, this looks very efficient, and it is, but in the fact that it is keeping this all unjammed at the moment, until these, of course, get full, and then it's going to jam, right? But at least if with a leapfrogging system, I could take organics out of that whole line and put it somewhere else, right? Just like I do up here, actually. It's kind of its own contained unit. So that's a thing. Let's see. Let's keep fixing the organic stuff. So we'll try and keep this running a little bit longer before we wrap things up for the day. And then, you know, as we continue to play with a few experiments here. Okay, do the things. I mean, that's one way to get rid of a lot of stuff is just convert it all into material. And then of course you can just have it all coming back through. It's perfectly fine. Yep. Let's see. Are you guys cranky in the backside? No, you still got space to grow into. All right, I'm going to let you grow into that. Okay. And again, I think the other issue is my width. Again, I should have gone for taller, I think. Can it go back to the factories closer to the city? But that's the problem. You know, now we're getting to the point where you wouldn't be able to do this pattern. You'd have to do some sort of pattern like this, right? Where, let's see, like you'd want to do like this and this and that, right? You'd have to have like a strip of stuff coming out, a strip of stuff going back in. You'd have to have the factories something like, let's see here, give me that. So like you'd have to have that factory there. You'd have to have, are you a metal factory? Yes, you'd have to have that factory there. And then you're a metal factory, right? Yes. Actually, I'm going to actually put you on this side, and I'm going to turn you into polymer. Like this. So then you'd have to have the plastic coming out, the polymer going back. So this kind of design. And then we need to do this kind of maneuver here, where we take this. This would be my organics, but the organics would then need to the second thing, right? No, not you, dude. You. We need this nitrogen coming in here somehow. And then this is where you get into designs like this, right? Where you can keep everything within a 3 crossing distance, so as everything can keep moving up without using too much space, right? So you'd have to, you know, it'd be this kind of design where we can get the stuff in, then get it back out, but then you have to have another layer on this, right? So this is where you would need a layer somewheres here, something like this, where, give me that for a second, where you'd have to have like raw material coming in to make up the shortfall of the recycle until the recycle either overtakes it, because that appears to be what's going on now, right? It's almost like the recycle is now actually producing so much now that it's actually trying to overtake what I'm supplying. So what we'd want to do here is some sort of methodology to say, okay, keep doing this, or keep dropping stuff off here, but if this is keeping up, then don't deliver. And they will do this, by the way, because this, if it's going upwards, because this factory is closer to this platform than this, it will actually take from this factory first and put it on that platform. You actually get to see that up here somewhere, because I've watched it before. I think it's from these guys, where they'll actually put their own stuff into the city first, because it's closer than the incoming stuff, right? So that's where in behind these you'd have to have some sort of factories, some sort of factory like this, right? Like for polymer bars, but obviously we would want oxygen, so that gets supplied with this right here, but actually that's not good enough, so you have to do that, and we have to get rid of that, and I have to put this in like whatever. You're a bum, dude. Do that. Do this, do that, and change this over to be be carbon. There we go. So carbon, this would make carbon, which would then make this into polymer bar and stick it on here. This, meanwhile, would be getting the waste from the city, converting it, and then putting it back into the city. Obviously, we don't put this in the city at any time, so then this has to be converted into one of two things, right? And then that's where you need either high-tech parts, or you need where is it? Composite, right? And then, of course, this is where you need steel, right? So this factory would probably be here. This factory would probably be there. You need 3 of these, I think, for one of those. So maybe you could try and do that maneuver, I think it is. If that would be enough, that would be great. But of course, then you got to make sure you have a lane coming out for. You have to have a lane coming out for the organics, and then food's got to be made in this thing somewhere, right? That's always the trick. So, you know, this is probably the next. Something like this would be the next iteration of the ribbon, where we forcibly anything that has to like the factory-driven stuff. Of primary stuff is done on the outside, so as the recycle gets to have its opportunity first to deliver the final products before we get into doing the stuff, right? So let's say here's Mr. Food Factory, so you know that's a thing. How's that going to fit into our little puzzle here? So like obviously we have. We have nitrogen being used here already somewhere, right? There's our nitrogen. We need nitrogen and water for these guys, but we also need nitrogen for tempered steel, right? And I haven't even put the tempered steel in here anywhere. It's like, I haven't even gotten to that part yet, because you got to have tempered steel for these guys, and you got to, now the aluminum bar is right there, so these guys have got their 2, but we haven't got a tempered steel line in here yet. I haven't got a compost line in here yet with a factory for compost, right? So you got to do this compost factory line, which needs nitrogen, right? So then this is where you got to kind of look at this to make sure that these 2 are close together. And that means you got to have a train line here somewhere, right? And that train line has to be really close, right? Because it can't be any more than 3 away. Otherwise, you've got to build a chain like this, right? You got to start chaining them up and into the center, right? Meanwhile, I mean, this is behaving itself. I'm assuming it's organics that's upsetting it, right? Is it no, it's actually food. No, it's high-tech parts and food that is upsetting it. Wow, really, guys? I'm surprised about that. I thought I would. And that must mean that it's using enough organics out of this whole mess to get through the food depots. That's actually pretty amazing, guys. I will admit. Surprisingly, these trains are not... Oh, that's because I didn't increase these ones. You're a bum, Max. These guys have been starving for water the entire time. Well, that was awful mean of you. Here, have a third one of those. Here, you can have a third one of those. And you can have a third one of those. And so can you. There. And you guys already got your thirds. Everybody's got their thirds down here. So then, okay, that's going to take care of that. So the high-tech parts. Again, is it because I just don't make enough high-tech parts? Because we don't have enough aluminum? Because we have too much steel, and we have too much steel because it's being choked off with composite, right? And that's always the other issue with these factories here, is because they produce 2 items, when one of them is plugged up, the other one doesn't come out, which of course is the problem here. We have too much steel, so I can't get any aluminum, right? Too much steel, not enough aluminum, because these guys are all jammed up with steel, right? Because that keeps flashing to full. And that's causing me a headache. Gosh darn it. But again, this kind of thing down here would fix that, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, you're too full, so I'll just find the next available factory and take care of that. But that's where this has to be built and designed and then squeezed into this somehow, right? Because oxygen, right? The whole point of this factory here is to create carbon and oxygen. Well, that's fine, right? I mean, you could keep the carbon ones out here and keep the oxygen ones up for the storage flowers, or for that storage flowers needed. Yeah, my hex flowers, right? But I think it will look something like this, right? Where it can shuffle stuff along the line, find free factories to process it, and then kick that out to other factories that can take it and use it. There's 3 of our 4. What's the 4th thing it's missing? Oh, oxygen itself, right. Well, oxygen can be done with just these guys being themselves, right? You give them a platform somewhere, they'll gladly give you oxygen until they turn blue in the face. So, if you can give these guys these 3 components right here, then they will be happy. They would be like, yeah, we'll do this until we turn blue in the face, right? All good in the neighborhood after that. So that's going to be the big challenge, I think. But we've got this one over 1 million. We'll wrap things up here for the day. Holy smokes, I'm actually like on my normal time schedule for once instead of running like 3.5 hours. But that's okay. That's fine. So when this comes back again, we're going to try another new design, and we'll see what happens. And it will probably look something in comparative to this, where it's going to have these lines of hopefully shuffling material to a free factory to then be processed and do a thing with. So that's what we're going to do with that one. So what do we got coming up for the rest of the week? Tomorrow, Infraspace Terra, the premiere. Of course, we'll have that in tomorrow. I know it came out there on March the 10th, and we already had so many games already on the go that whole day. It was like there was just no room left, and because they announced it so late, it was like there was just no way I could squeeze it in. So we're going to squeeze it in tomorrow. You betcha. We're bringing Canyon City back. Canyon City will be back, and all the things when we do that. Canyon City, of course, is the city we built with Giga inside the big canyon. And we're going to bring Canyon City back. We're going to do the research of the things to get the new eco terraforming stuff, and then of course we're going to build it. Right? We're going to transform the planet into something green. Hopefully, maybe. So hopefully that is going to be tomorrow. And then we've got Mr. Prepper and Transport Fever for the rest of the week, of course, running through all the things and doing, we got to get Mr. Prepper, discovering the animals, all the things, and Transport Fever 2, of course, we're on the plateau of Curvy Canyon, and I need to fix the NOCO bridges. Because they're crazy. So with that, of course, I want to thank all recent subscribers that watch all my crazy foolishness. And of course, as they scroll at the bottom of the screen, of course, Mr. O, Jamie, I appreciate the stop by. Kroll, appreciate the stop by. Jacob, there, of course, as well, doing some chit-chatting and all the things. I appreciate that all very much, people. And of course, everybody that's watching later on, I appreciate it as well. I'm Max. This has been Plan B Terraform. Ribbon World, where we're trying to design a ribbon to wrap around the city so as we can make it grow almost on its own, or as close to it as I can get. Gosh darn it! And I enjoy. We tried one we tried one there for about 2 or 3 episodes, and it wasn't good enough. So I tried this design. And it was running really good to almost 1 million people, and then it kind of just all fell apart. It all fell apart, people. It is what it is. So we're going to try another new design, something like this, probably within about a week or so. And so with that, we'll bring it all back for another round of Plan B Terraform, because it is an awesome game. It is a really good time. With that, I am going to see you all on the next one. Take care.